It started with a cage. Is this the end of Joe and Nakamura? We'll find out, as well as who our new #1 contender for the NXT Championship is. Stay with us.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of AFTERBUZZ TV's NXT After Show for the week of December 14th, 2016. I'm one of your hosts, the internet's Mark Donica. You can find me on Twitter at Mark B. Donica. Joined as always by full squad. We got
Squad.
Squab. We got the no, not dinner.
Squad.
Not Squad Saturday.
Squad team.
Not Squad Saturday. Not Dead Dev Tuesday. It's Wednesday. So whatever you eat on Wednesdays.
Not much.
So whatever the one and only true hobo eats on Wednesdays, because he's the true hobo.
I don't know what that is.
Where do the folks find you on the social medias? Where do the
True
folks find-
hobo.
Is that it? Is that all you got?
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Hey.
Bill Hanstock.
What's up, everybody?
Good to see you, Bill.
Good to see you.
Thanks, man. Oh, here's a coaster.
Just
Thanks.
How you
him.
doing?
You got a coaster.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Is this track really called Combative?
That was
It's
gonna
called
be my
competitive.
question.
It's called competitive. We're listening to the music of Oni Lorcan, which we don't hear too often. And make sure to check out this week's WCW, because it's a good one. It's a
legendary.
doozy.
WCW.
We
It's
got
a legendary episode.
a classic moment with Harlem Heat.
Yeah. Stevie
And-
Ray
Oh.
Hulk
cuts a
Hogan.
promo.
Oh, they do.
sorry, Booker T.
Booker T cuts a promo.
Yes.
Future mayor of Houston.
Oh, and also Stevie Ray.
Stevie Ray
Once
was there.
future mayor. Yeah, Stevie Ray was standing in the background.
Well, no, he cuts in. Like,
Yeah.
if you watch the whole thing, Stevie Ray doesn't even
That one
notice.
just
He
watched
doesn't
the whole
give
thing.
two S's.
And then like, give me one of these, just
Yeah.
a little bit. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about NXT. It was a spring-loaded show. It was getting all over the place, bouncing up and down like a kangaroo.
That's karate.
Uh,
Karate, baby.
We're in Melbourne for the cage match.
This was
Yes.
this was the NXT version of that show that Mark Summers used to host, not Double Dare, where they had the wall that you'd like punch into and like get the number out.
Yes, I really like. I forgot what it was called.
Not press your luck.
Not press
What
your
was it
luck.
called?
Was it Punch a Wall?
Yeah, punch a wall.
Punch a Wall.
Wall
with Mark
punchers.
Summers.
And then, like, if you won the grand prize, you had to like put your dad in a barber chair and have him bombarded with pies or whatever.
Yeah, it was like an evolution.
Well, I didn't just stream that, right?
This sounds like a great activity
That
for
wasn't
people
just
with
a
anger
therapy
management
session.
problems. Just punching walls and throwing pies at their dad. This is a Thanksgiving
no,
celebration
you know that-
everyone can enjoy.
Did that Price is Right thing where you punch the numbers and then Bob Barker pulls or Drew Carey or whoever. You know what I'm talking about?
It is Bob Barker's
Or
birthday.
whoever.
It is Bob Barker's birthday.
Happy birthday,
Bob.
Bob
Robert.
Barker. And
Get
please,
your pet spayed or neutered
remember
if
to-
it's in
especially
honor
if they drift around.
We worship at the altar of his eternal life.
We do.
Yes.
May
Roddy.
Bob have mercy on us all as we talk about our opening contest, the NXT Championship from Melbourne. Is a
Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Samoa
miss
Joe versus
Melbourne.
Shinsuke Nakamura,
in a that's not a knife. This is a knife match.
that's a cage.
That's
So you
not a
played knifey
cage.
cagey before.
This is a cage.
So what did we think of this match? It started out like it was gonna go possibly the entire show. It was very,
And then it didn't.
and then it was over as almost as quickly as it took them to get to the ring.
And it was, I mean, it's very sort of like a mixed thing to go, here's a championship match between the champion and current challenger, and end the show with trying to figure out who the challenger is after the current challenger, whoever the hell that's gonna be, who the hell knows when is figured out. Like, it seems like we're counting our chickens, or our eggs before the chickens even laid it.
Yeah.
We don't even know who the champion's going to be once the dust settles. Tonight, obviously, we do. But come, Las Vegas? Orlando? Who knows? This thing could just keep going until both of them turn to a pillar of salt and blow away.
Well, the other part of the show tonight was qualifiers for a Fatal 4-Way match for the #1 contendership, which we heard about last week. And so, I mean, it makes me think that we're moving past, like, Joe didn't get involved in any of the matches tonight. Like, the cage match seemed like it was, the last time we saw it, the end.
It certainly feels like a definitive. I mean, 3 Kinshasas, he's dead, pinned in the middle of the ring. He's
pretty
cage
dead.
match. I don't see what good another match, like where could they possibly go in Las Vegas?
I mean, I got to give you that. They had the rematch. This was the rematch.
And also, they're setting up the number one contender. A number one contender is going to be in place by the time the takeover for Royal Rumble rolls around.
But
I figure that's what it's for.
there
It's
was
for that
never
takeover.
Sure.
a moment after this match concluded where they said, "That's it. Shinsuke Nakamura is the champion, and Samoa Joe has got to go to the back of the line." Never once was that said, implied. Like, is Joe still? Are we gonna do this again? I don't-
Well, it's
I don't
really
How
know.
does, how does it get bigger?
It's a rude to speak ill of the dead, Hobo.
I mean, he's not dead. You
Samoa
can't
Joseph.
kill Samoa Joe.
Can only
He's
hope to
like one
continue.
of the Terminators.
Which one?
The one that ate the most spam.
The sexy one.
What?
In
No,
Terminator 3.
Not the lady. Not the lady.
She looks like she could put away
When he
some
said the
spam.
sexy one, I think he means the T1000.
The original. The OG with all the muscles.
No, the T1000.
No,
not
that's the
T800.
liquid.
Oh, yeah. The Robert Patrick.
Yeah, the Robert Patrick model.
Yeah.
Big fan of Robert Patrick here on the NXT After
Bigger
Show.
fan of
He's a
Jason
local.
Patrick.
Hey, call me.
Babe.
This was a very oddly paced match. It looked like Joe was ready for everything because he kept the match at his pace, and all it took was a split second for Nakamura to break out and run away with it.
They kind of kept it going back and forth. It just, the pacing in the beginning was so slow, and it took so long for anybody to get like a solid foothold that it just felt like the match could run all night. I mean, Joe was the first one to actually utilize the cage to his advantage, but that advantage didn't seem to last as long as we would have expected.
I'm pretty sure I like this match better than their last match.
I can agree with that.
Just because I mean, if nothing else, I had a more memorable finish.
And Joe seemed like he was present. Like last match, it didn't feel like we've been spoiled with their matches in the past. Their first confrontation, as well as Toronto and Brooklyn, were amazing matches. They were arguably magical. Some of the best that Nakamura has done in WWE, in NXT yet. Even he's not been in here a damn year, but still, he's got a lot to live up to. You know, him and Ty Dillinger.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
this one felt more along the lines of what we were going to see. Did it need the cage? Because we only got a little bit of the offense from Joe, but
Well, no modern cage match really needs the cage.
no.
We
The
don't need a
Balor Joe
cage.
match. Didn't even need the cage. It was cool to have it there, but
Yeah, the cage wasn't necessarily involved in the finish. It wasn't.
He just closed the door. He didn't.
Right,
He didn't leave.
He did hit that Kinshasa off the top rope, which he would not have been able to hit in the manner that he did in an ordinary match. I don't think he does a springboard, so that's as good as that's going to get. But usually the cage is somehow used in the finish, not generally one guy
I
hitting
think-
something and then deciding
and that's
not to.
but the one thing that the cage factored into in this match, which made it really feel like the end of the feud, was Nakamura having the option to leave through the cage door and closing it and opting to hit the killing blow
Yeah.
and end it in the ring. That's the one thing that made the cage part of the narrative of the match, and that's the biggest thing that showed like, okay, this is an ending point.
So in your mind, Samoa Joe could not possibly come back to face Shinsuke Nakamura after receiving such a devastating and
No,
final
I think
loss.
Samoa Joe can come back from anything. It's just a question of how many chances is he going to get, and how many chances is Regal going to give him. And since Joe's so hung up on pride and being upstanding, at this point he would look like a hypocrite after complaining for so long that everyone else was getting all these chances without having earned them.
Well, that's never a problem for somebody who's self-involved, like, Samoa Joe or Bobby Roode or anybody like that.
Sure, but you know, when Joe didn't get his match before, he went on a month-long rampage of I'm going to beat up the whole roster until I get what I want. He got what I want. He captured the title, and then he got what he wanted again, and he lost the title. Then he got what he wanted, and he captured the title. Then he got what he wanted 2 more times. So it's like, you know, he's been the focus of NXT for months now.
And I think bringing up Regal and how he's been billing these matches, because it was huge. They're finally going to meet at Brooklyn. Oh, and the rematch in Toronto's going to be even bigger. And now it's we're touring with it, and we're going to have it on live shows. We're going to put it on the regular weekly thing.
And I think that's what made these 2 matches feel so weird compared to their other matches. Is their house show matches, and they're wrestling like their house show matches, and they're wrestling like they don't necessarily know whether these matches are going to end up aired on NXT television. I mean, they were obviously taped,
and I figured they knew going out there is like, oh, we're doing TV for these, and you could tell by the way they were lit. Really quickly, we have Jake Robertson in chat who was excited for Nakamura versus Joe, but having been in the arena for 3 hours of wrestling before that match started, you could feel some of the crowd's energy and excitement had waned. So thank you very much. He was at the show, and we've sat through those big shows.
Right.
Sure.
It takes a lot to keep people excited from first bell to final bell.
But and that's another reason why these 2 matches might have felt the way they did, is because since they're not actually like officially for TV, for a TV episode, they're not for a live event, and they don't have a time to hit, and they don't have a requirement on them. Both matches very well could have been like, this is as hot as the crowd's gonna get, we gotta go.
Yeah,
it's tough. Entertaining any crowd is difficult. It's just I don't know. Was putting this match on TV a mistake?
No, I don't think it was a mistake. I think if they had started the show with it and then made something that could have come around for the live crowd at the very end and made that equally as an ending. So you had super hot fire crowd, maybe 1 match before to sort of lead it in, and then start with the cage match. I think, I don't know. We're getting into a lot of nitty gritty here. Yeah. Ultimately, Shinsuke Nakamura picks up the win, is the NXT champion still. And the rest of the show, except for our next segment, is all dedicated to who he will face next. In the back, we are with Billy Kay and Peyton Royce. They talk about how they didn't lose in Toronto. Daria lost. And they don't associate themselves with losers.
Losers.
And one of the stupidest things that they could have done is said any of this, because Daria Berenato is essentially, for all intents and purposes, a trained killer. And if you can, I mean,
sure,
really,
the lady Steve Blackman.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Sheev Blackman. It's bad. That's really bad. She says she wants to hurt one of the 2 of them next week. Lets them pick. Makes a jump at him, and we find out later in the show that it's going to be Billy Kay versus Daria Berenato next week.
How do they pick?
Probably.
I want to know the process. This needs to be vetted. Do they have that in Australia?
Do they have Rochambeau?
A French general? What does a French general have to do with Australian politics?
Let us know, Jake Robertson, in the chat. Do they have Rochambeau in Australia? He also says, worth noting, it felt like the crowd peaked after an excellent tag match between TM61 and DIY.
Well, big freaking surprise. TM61 back at home. That's what you use to close out the show. You bring in the hometown crowd because the crowd is going to go nuts when they see their guys in the ring. Yeah. Welcome back. The top of the game. The absolute one of the best tag teams of all the current tag teams on the roster in the world. This is them, and they're in their home. You close the show.
I thought you were talking about DIY for a second.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Whoops. I'm kidding.
Do it yourself.
I don't want to. You guys are great. I don't want to do the show by myself. Anyway, that went to a weird place. Our first
You wouldn't be able to do without us. It's okay.
I don't know.
We all know the truth.
What? No.
We've been talking.
Have you now?
We'll talk more later.
Will we?
Well, we will.
We will. Yeah.
Damn it. Foiled again. Our first match.
Who's Billy and who's Peyton of the two of us?
Does that make me Daria?
I'm the one with the bigger forehead.
So,
Mine goes all the way back.
Moving on. We got our first number one contendership match. Ty Dillinger versus Eric Young. Eric Young started out the match pretty hot, but Ty started to get cooking, and then it went to hell. Nikki Cross just
Alexander Wolf hopped up, and Ty Dillinger was not going to play with any of that. Nikki Cross hops on his back like a, well, 'tis the season, like a gremlin.
there you go.
And attacked him as hard as she could, got the DQ, and then basically Ty Dillinger single-handedly clears Sanity from the ring. Well, 3/4 of it.
Well,
And
Maybe.
then-
cleared all of Sanity from the ring, as we know it.
Oh, Sanity as we know it.
Well, okay, all right. Then Damo,
Got a little bit of Damo.
little bit. Well, is there such a thing as a little bit of Damo?
Yeah.
You'd have to like cut off a
He's
pretty
pouring
thin
out
sliver.
everywhere.
He was pouring out.
He's got a little
Sweat pit.
high waist, man. Trust me, high waist look could
No,
be,
he has it with
be
his
what's
gear.
good for you.
His
Yeah, he has with his
a
gear.
high waist.
But he
You
was
should
wearing.
also do
But
that
a guy,
with pants.
but a dude comes out in street clothes with it over his ample gut. Trust me, I know. You're just gonna end up looking like Abdullah the Butcher in your PJs.
Abdullah was that man. He owns a barbecue and Chinese restaurant.
The thing about Abdullah to offset it is the pants are high, but then the pectorals go down over the pants.
Pectorals in big quotes.
Yeah.
I mean,
The pectorals.
pectorals.
The pectoral areas.
Yeah.
The PAs.
Yep. PA all day.
Yeah.
That's what Abdullah
PA all
has.
day. Shout out to Peter Avalon, friend of the show. Damo hits a forward fireman's carry slam, like the old,
Like the wasteland.
like the wasteland of old, and
He's like,
a senton.
I'm afraid I've got some big damos.
No, just Damo.
Oh, I'm afraid I've got
some
damo. I'm afraid I've got some small pants.
Everybody's afraid of that. He hits the senton and just leaves, blasts through.
Blast.
He blasts through
walks
him.
past.
Oh, it's fine.
Sanity.
Walks
Doesn't
past him.
blast through him's like, hey guys,
He breezed on by.
If you wanna hang out, I'll be just off over here. Like a Damo do.
Like a digga Damo.
Later on, I could use some help shaving my back.
That was Nikki Cross, of course. Moving on
It's
to.
hard to shave your back.
That's why Nikki Cross is so upset, because it's itchy when that hair grows back.
Oh,
It
that
gives
makes
her
sense.
something to cling on to, though.
Like
when
a
she grabs
koala.
on to yes,
Like a koala.
like a koala.
Well, we're having too much fun with this. Speaking of too much fun, No Way Jose versus Andrade Cien Almas. This was actually a lot more fun than we were expecting, or than I was expecting. I won't speak for you. But this I really enjoyed this match. How did y'all
I
think?
love seeing Almas as a heel. He was doing a great job. Especially, like, he brought it really all home with the Ain't I a Stinker in the ring after he won.
Did I do that?
But what a great match. Like, Jose is just so good.
He is.
You just gotta let him be charismatic, and you kind of felt the size difference between
For sure.
these two, and even in spite of that, Jose can still move. He's so quick. There was that moment when Almas is up on the ropes doing his thing, chilling out. Jose's going for it like he's gonna do it himself, and Almas like, "You don't you dare!" And he charges him, and then
Bounces
Jose
right off.
sidestep, dropped him as fast as a hiccup. Like, wow, he's a big guy, but that hair doesn't cause any wind resistance like I thought it would.
Was that your favorite part? Because I really liked that one a lot.
I liked that, and my other favorite part was the pop-up punch.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, no, that looked like it really hit home.
Fall on my fist, and he did. But Andrade Cien Almas was a little bit too fast for him. Hits the package DDT for the win. He is our second #1 contender. Our next match is Elias Samson versus Roderick Strong.
The boy come out a singing.
It sure did happen.
I mean, Technically, yes.
I mean, that was
singing.
Well, I mean, he was wearing Bob Dylan on his shirt. And if you can call what Bob Dylan did singing, you can say Elias Sampson's a singer, sure.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Not fair at all. All I know is that I've heard that Elias Sampson is on the short list for next year's Nobel Prize.
That sounds right.
That's good.
Nobel Prize in drifting.
Oh, okay. Is that a new category this year?
Yeah.
It's not just a Tokyo thing, or
No.
Okay.
But the only way to win is to lose control, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And you know what they say? Music makes you lose control. Nobody? Thank you.
Gloria Stefan?
It's really
Glorious Stefan.
Gloria
it's not-
Stefan? Miami Sound Machine?
but I appreciate the pity laugh, by the way. No one.
And that's a rhythm that's going to move you, Mark.
Thanks, Bill.
That made it all
In other
better.
news, I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody.
Is that somebody Roderick Strong?
Nah. Well, you know who's
With
not
somebody who's
feeling
drifting.
you know who's not feeling the heat is Elias Sampson.
He is. I don't know. I think
He's feeling some heat, but
He's feeling
not
some
the
heat.
way he wants.
people in that building aren't you're there.
That was A plus plus.
This is why you tune in to
Nope.
the AfterBuzz TV NXT After Show.
Nah.
Nah. This Elias Sampson spent most of this match on top. You really saw his size. Like Roderick Strong isn't that small of a dude.
He's roughly my
Sampson
size.
was
Maybe a
bottoming
little
from the top.
taller.
Now he's there. But Elias Sampson is like WWE. Like you look at him and you go, "Oh, that guy's a
Look at
professional
that dude.
wrestler."
Look at all his muscles.
He does
And his
remind me very much of that early 90s thing of here's a giant guy who calls himself something that doesn't quite fit.
He looks like Mason Ryan, but not uncomfortable to be alive.
Uncomfortably
Okay.
happy.
Yeah.
Mason Ryan was just, especially in his NXT time, was just smiling all
Sure.
the time.
He
Just
was
happy
Happy
to be there.
Welsh Batista.
Welsh Batista. Well, the Batista bite is a thing. That was fun to look up.
Britista.
Batista.
Britista.
Batista.
That sounds like somebody's daughter's name. And here's my daughter, Britista.
If Dave has a daughter that gets into the business, it's Batista.
Britista Batista.
Yeah.
Or the Shiviathan.
That's good. And it's like a remixed version of the Saliva song,
Yes.
like Charlotte's using. Roderick spent barely any time getting any offense in, but it took him a second to cinch in an offensive move, not a submission. Sorry, I'm still caught up on the Batista bite.
Yeah.
I walked across the street to 7-Eleven, got a Batista bite. It had a little sun tattoo on it.
Delicious. They got a deal. You get like 7 for $5.
Not bad.
Batista bites. They're pretty, and they're good. They're meaty. Yeah.
The meaty Batista bite. Roderick Strong hit the.
So was Sasquatch.
It doesn't have Meat Boys. It doesn't have a new name for the WWE, but he hits the end of Heartache and a sick kick for the win and advances to the #1 contendership match.
All of the offense that Roddy Strong got tonight was built through speed. What did he have that Elias Sampson didn't have was speed. He showed his power there at the end when he hit his heart with his knees and then kicked him in the mouth. But that was really sort of the end of his power. Everything else he hit through speed and maneuvering. And he's very quick.
Oh, he's super quick. Does anybody think we're going to see, sticking to Elias Sampson for a little bit, does anybody think we're going to see a return of the sing-off like we had with the Artiste, Aiden English, and Big Cass, but with Elias Sampson and another popular Jamoke?
Who could that be?
Anybody?
Let us know in chat.
Who do you want to see in a sing-off with Elias Sampson? He will provide his own backing track.
Someone on Twitter says that the name of that Mark Summers show is What Would You Do? The Nickelodeon show.
I remember What Would You Do? No, it wasn't when you would punch through. That was where you would just open. You would pick
Oh,
a
it was a
number,
door. It was a
and you would
door.
open it
Oh,
up,
that's
and
right,
then it would be
that's
like,
Yeah, okay,
or
yeah.
something.
Right.
Yeah. What would you do? Yeah, I remember that show.
Hold on.
I want to
I
be
wanna
in that
set
show.
So
something-
does every theme song from
True.
In chat, I need to set something straight. PW Gregory, I'm not saying Dylan sucks. I'm just saying he wasn't a vocalist. Fantastic writer, but he just wasn't a great vocalist. There. I've defended my Hobo brethren's honor.
You know who else wasn't a great vocalist? Neil Young.
Well, I mean, it's something. It's Canadian.
No.
Speaking of Canadians,
Yeah.
who's the...
Tony Lorcan.
Bobby Roode.
Bobby Roode.
Yeah,
Bobby
yes.
Roode. I knew there was
did it.
somebody
You
we
nailed it.
could...
You had to get there. Our final match of the evening: Oni Lorcan versus Bobby Roode for the last spot in the #1 contendership match.
Oni finally got back to his Roode.
We were talking during the show.
Were we?
We were. Well, you went out and got Hobo coffee. Shout out to our sister network, Black Hollywood Live.
I went out to get him hot coffee, and they're like, "This guy sucks. Gonna get rid of him."
That's not. I mean, that's not the only thing we were talking about. We were also talking about Oni Lorcan.
In addition,
How Oni Lorcan, they seem to be. They keep putting him in these great positions, but where can he go? What can he have?
anywhere, sky's the limit.
He can go up.
But it's like...
Yeah, you can go up.
It's like branding. Like, how do you brand him?
Well,
Is there any... My question is there anybody like him?
no.
No, that makes him the one and only. He is the
Thank you for
one
saving
and
that.
Only.
Only you would be able to come up with that.
Only you.
I was lurking for a pun, but I couldn't find one.
Well, we certainly fixed that.
Danilo.
Ref!
Oh, again, 'tis the season. The ref,
Certainly.
Dennis
Oh,
Lurin.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was a Christmas thing.
What was a
Technically.
Christmas thing?
You know, it won't be a Christmas thing. Us, because we're canceled. Let's talk about this main event match.
The ref was really just like a different version of Funny Games.
What?
I don't even know
I don't even know
what
what
that
Funny
is.
Games is, so it's
Who
the
said
only
that?
version of Funny Games.
Fans of horror films will like that reference.
All right. Are you a fan? Why don't you?
Do you have the guts?
Do you have the guts? Leave a comment down
That's the theme song of Hostel.
That's a good one. Guts. Oni Lorcan versus Bobby Roode. What did y'all think of this
was
final?
awesome. This
It was
match
really
ruled.
cool.
It was, yeah.
Bobby Roode's so tan.
my
Oni Lorcan's
gosh.
so not tan.
He's
The opposite of tan. Like, you have to work really hard to be that
I
untanned.
think Oni Lorcan's arm is now darker for hitting Bobby Roode as hard as he could for those European uppercuts.
You think that's a spray tan? You don't think that's a tanning bed tan?
It's really hard to tell. All I know is his pits are white.
yeah.
And I imagine that's what he's supposed to look like. Like, that's his
Canadian.
natural color.
This is natural Canadian.
Yeah. Not this kind of... Maybe this is a good Bobby Roode color.
Yeah,
This
pretty
is
Bobby
actually
Roode.
That's pretty... Did
it's
you
actually a rude coat.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. That's the color they call it.
Yeah.
This
This
color
is back
comes
from
in
his Team Canada days.
black and blue and rude.
Rude.
Yeah, it's good. Looks good.
Thank you.
I want to see Bobby Roode have a zipper implanted in the front of his
Oh,
chest.
just a tattoo of a zipper?
Yeah.
He's just wearing a coat the whole time?
That would be a very big
You
surprise.
heard it here first, folks. Hobo hopes Bobby Roode has bypass surgery.
And frequent, but and like
Yeah.
off.
Right? Yeah.
Just get right in there, folks.
Anybody want to see my heart?
He's Canadian. He shows it out on the ice.
But not in the ring. She's pretty heartless in there.
Ooh, nice. You're on fire.
Kanye. Bobby's hubris almost
We're not
got the
talking
best of
about
him.
Kanye anymore.
Yeah, no. You said heartless.
All right.
I'm trying to be like with the kids.
Oh, okay.
There's musical reference. Shout out to BHL The Beat. Wednesdays, 2 p.m. on BHL. Watch it. It's actually a really fun show with music. Anyway, Oni Lorcan, Bobby Roode.
Not like this show.
Not like this. No, not
It's
fun.
not fun. With
Not
no
fun.
journalist.
It is a chore.
Honest, you guys.
It's gonna be a long holiday break.
Anyway,
Which
Oni
I'm
Lorcan
sure
didn't
our
win.
fans are
Oni-
looking forward
Oni
to.
Lorcan's offense has always been fast and furious.
he attacks with his entire body.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing is ever.
He literally attacked. He went for what normally would be a European uppercut in the corner, but he just hip checked.
He just started running into him.
Like, at some point, you just elevate yourself high enough. You figure, well, I'm just
My
going
body's
to
a
run my
weapon.
pelvis into his chest until his heart stops.
He was remembering his combative music.
He's getting back to his roots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was skanking.
Is that what that was? That was
Skanking.
He's so intense. Like that, the music. The name of his entrance theme does sort of fit him.
Sure.
He is combative. He's just like this piece of gristle. Like, no matter what you do to him, he doesn't go away. He doesn't fit in. He always stands out. Not necessarily in a good way, but it's just he's there.
He is there, yeah. Good.
Just
Well
like
said.
Gristle, he's there.
Like Gristle. Unavoidable.
Unavoidable.
Unavoidable only Lorcan.
Well, the glorious DDT put the nail in the coffin for Oney Lorcan. And his... Well, I mean,
This time.
This time.
Because he'll be back.
One more time.
One more.
One. Like Gristle. So that sets our fatal four-way number one contendership match as Ty Dillinger versus Andrade Cien Almas versus Roderick Strong versus glorious Bobby Roode.
Next week.
Next week. Let's go into some quick predictions then.
All right.
AfterBuzz TV news and predictions.
Now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Space. Not Hobo? You alright?
Yeah.
I don't know
That's
coffee
his
made you
first
burp.
prediction.
Everything makes me everything.
Wow.
That's intense.
That's the hobo.
Glad you're not Damo. So
Okay, that's your next shirt. Everything makes me everything. And it's just like
In hobo glyphs.
the cloud emoji, the fart cloud emoji.
it's just a wall of emojis. Who are we taking? Ty, CN, Strong, Roode.
Oney Lorcan. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Oney Lorcan.
Gonna go out on a route and say
Yeah.
Oney Lorcan?
He's not in this one.
Oh.
It's not his to lose.
Yeah.
Let's say that he can't
fair.
win
He's,
it.
he's
but
in the
he certainly
catbird
is not
seat,
gonna lose
in
it.
my opinion. There's literally no way he can lose this match.
He's got the best odds. He's
Yeah.
got better odds than three of these guys.
But he most certainly is not going to win.
Well, that's just negative thought.
Sorry.
It's just negative thinking, my man.
That's the rules.
You never know if somebody could have an unfortunate accident.
I mean, it's possible.
Like Oney Lorcan just Manchurian candidate, like sniping from the air duct.
It's like somebody coming out and like, yeah, pa. And then just a
It
shot
wasn't
him,
me.
and it's like Buscemi.
Yeah.
Man, am I
that
glad I called that guy.
That implies that only Lorcan wears lipstick.
He can wear whatever the hell he wants.
I think it would make it more interesting if he wore.
Hold on, hold out your hand. Hold out your hand. No, your wrist isn't limp enough.
I go, it's loose.
It's loose, but it's not
couldn't-
loose enough. It's
No.
got to be firm but loose.
Right.
Anyway,
I'm working on it.
nobody understands what we're talking about
Not a-
except for Logan. What up? Shout out to Logan.
Logan.
I really think that Ty Dillinger needs this win.
Or he's going to jump off a bridge.
Or he's gonna call Oney Lorcan to shoot him in the head.
Like,
Something.
This is so dramatic with Ty Dillinger.
Okay. Last week, Ty Dillinger was ready to call it quits and throw in the towel until William Regal put him in this match. If he loses this match, there might be nothing left for him in NXT. But there might be a number 10 spot in the Royal Rumble.
Hey.
Perfect spot for Ty Dillinger.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Samoa Joe because that's what folks in the chat were saying.
That he's going to be at Royal Rumble?
That because now that he would go out on his back after this match and show up at the Royal Rumble.
What if Samoa Joe eliminates both Goldberg and Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble?
That would be great, actually.
Yeah.
But it's probably going to be James Ellsworth, and then they're literally going to wishbone him, and he will die.
I like
Tear him in half.
Yes, they are like Celebrity Deathmatch.
Goldberg spears him and he just dissipates like Mike TV just a billion pieces. Yeah.
Very good.
Destroys him on a molecular level.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then like 4 years from now he like manages to reassemble himself from across the cosmos.
But he has Brock Lesnar's like build. Same no chin, but
I couldn't find the chin particles.
You know.
They were never there in the first place. I think, as much as I want Ty to win, I think Roode has the most momentum. Strong sort of has gotten derailed because his partner sort of got kicked in the face and taken out. Sienna's been on a rocky road. I think a win for him would be huge. If there's anybody that it's going to come down to, I think it's going to be Sienna and Roode.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really, really hard for me to call it with... I'm trying to look at who would be the best possible candidate to face Nakamura. And I'm sort of torn between Roode and Almas. But Almas is not ready. He's just not ready. This is the first win that he's gotten in a while. Was tonight against Jose, and that's simply not strong enough to go in and fight the champ. It's not. Ty Dillinger, he could use this. He's got the heart, and I know fans would love to see it. And I think there's a spark there, an undeniable spark between Shinsuke Nakamura and Ty Dillinger that would make it really something special to watch those two go at it. So that's sort of where my brain's at. But then you have Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode is absolutely a spectacle unto himself, and he's the only one who can match Shinsuke Nakamura on that level, who could possibly get into Shinsuke's head enough to sort of rattle him to make a really good shot at that title.
And now I'm just very excited about, like, Roode trying to play mind games with Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah.
I don't think he would be playing mind games. Like, the thing about Roode,
being Bobby Roode.
He would just be being Bobby Roode.
Right.
Like, he wouldn't be like, "Hey, I'm gonna mess with you." He's just gonna say, "Man, I'm great. Yeah, I'm so great."
I mean, the real
a word
question
for
of
that.
this is there any possible chance Roderick Strong is going to come away the winner?
Nah.
I think he might steal the match, but I don't think that will result in a win.
Yeah.
I think he might come next to the person who wins the match. I think he'll come out of it with the most momentum. Maybe this starts something with him and Almas.
Maybe. I mean, it might benefit both of them.
Hobo was saying that Almas hasn't won a match in a while. Did he win his blow-off match with Alexander? I think he did.
He did.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
I thought that was
So long ago.
Cedric who pulled that off. Yeah,
It was the
and
week
again,
before Toronto.
Yeah.
There's another lack of momentum. The fact that this is the first time since before Toronto that we've actually seen Sienna Almas. Not to say that he's not been working on his craft or he's been picking up wins off of television, but working off television and on television are two completely different animals.
Different. Really quickly, Ryan Whittleson in the chat says the glorious one will win and Ty won't be pinned. So technically, that means Ty doesn't lose, or Ty loses,
it's an
but he does.
elimination match.
Is it an
No,
elimination
it's
match?
fatal.
No, it's
Fatal
an
four-way?
elimination match.
I'm gonna look that
Thought
up.
it was a fatal four-way. Fatal is
One
first
kill.
pinfall, take it all.
Fatal four-ways in WWE have been elimination matches, like the last 8.
The
fatal
NXT one.
four-ways.
The NXT one wasn't. It was first pin.
Which one? And the
The
takeover?
Yeah.
Since then, like every fatal four-way that's happened, and like the 2 number 1 contender matches when Finn Balor became the number 1 contender for the universe, like those are elimination matches. The one that was just on SmackDown last night was an elimination match. Also, I've read the spoilers.
So it's an elimination match. Okay.
Oh.
All
Well,
right.
then just lead with that.
Well, I thought you guys were going to take me at my word when I said it's an elimination.
Well, no, because traditionally we're just used to it not being. So that nothing against you, Bill. We love you.
But the term fatal is kind of misleading.
No,
Fatal, they all have
everybody
to die.
dies.
Yeah.
So it makes sense in both. Why don't we get
Good
to a
news
little?
and bad news. You're in a fatal four-way. Bad news, everyone's going to die.
Except for the guy who's left alive.
No, everyone's going to die. Fatal four-way.
Damo. Why don't we go to some news? AfterBuzz TV news. We got a couple of big stories this week, and one not so big one. We got a confirmation. Everybody knew it was going to happen. April 1st is going to be NXT Takeover Orlando.
Or
April
is it?
Fools.
Don't even point at me. It's rude. Don't point at people. It's rude.
But I'm glorious.
Bobby, here you go. Oni Lorcan. Dead air, dead air. So yeah, we got Takeover Orlando coming. No one's that surprised, but we're happy that it's confirmed. Tickets are going on
It's
sale
got a
pretty
name
soon.
and everything.
Takeover Orlando. We nailed it.
Are they
Nailed it.
gonna?
Will.
Okay.
And we got 3 big signings this week. We got Kimberly, Evie, and Heidi Lovelace that are going to be reporting to the Performance Center January 3rd.
Yeah.
How does this look towards the possible tournament? That's
Great.
Cool. I mean, we've been seeing a big influx of male talent as of late. We did get Nikki Cross, who just re-debuted, but we haven't been seeing too much female talent.
Yep.
So, what do we expect from these
We've
3?
seen Kimberly and Evie on NXT before.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Kimberly just last week. We haven't seen Heidi Lovelace on NXT television before. She is awesome. She's gonna be like your new favorite wrestler.
She's gonna stand out. She definitely stands out from everybody else. I'll say that much.
Like if Kimberly is not gonna be your new favorite women's wrestler, it's gonna be Heidi Lovelace. Like
if you don't
way to
like
put it.
Kimberly,
Yeah.
it's gotta be.
if you don't like them,
But
we got
wait,
Evie. If
there's
you don't like-
more.
and then also they just had a massive Australian tryout when they were in Australia.
They did.
They did.
And Shazza was one of the women who got to try out. So
Tell us about her.
she's Shazza.
Is it
She's also been on NXT television before, not under the name Shazza.
Is it
think I-
Shazza or Shazza?
Shazza.
Thank you.
I
Thank you very much.
I think I know,
You know
her.
her,
As well as many of the other talents that were at that tryout.
You had Crocodile Dundee, Kangaroo Ken, Outback Jack.
We are gonna get death threats. They are gonna come after you. And I love the Land of Oz. You can go ahead and kill him.
See, the worst part is if they miss, they're gonna get their ammo back because it comes back when they throw the boomerang. Anyway, that was bad. I'm excited about all of the folks that are coming through. And then the last story,
Shazza.
one last one to let us go. Chris Hero might be re-signed,
Yep.
and they took the KO gimmick already. You gave it to Kevin Owens, in case you didn't know that.
37 years young.
He's a young man.
Yep. According to the latest Wrestling Observer, Big Milts, he's already passed the physicals for WWE, so it's gotten that far at least. There's no definitive word on whether he has
Well, he
officially
did
signed with
once
them.
already.
And there is no, he has to redo it again.
Yeah.
Right, I know, but there hasn't been anything substantial since.
Yeah, no, nothing's changed about Chris Hero since he was let go from NXT. No, not at all. Nothing's different at all that would be medically different.
Well, maybe it's a thyroid condition, but other than that,
But anyway,
Yeah, you guys all right over there?
he is not officially signed yet, as far as people know, and there's also no official word on whether he will come to the show that we
how
talk
did all
about.
this start?
or a different
this was
show.
all
205 Live?
Meltzer, like,
Well, not just that, but the brand
Kidding.
split. The brand split was a big part of it, and also WWE is starting to be extremely proactive about signing everyone they can, locking people up.
they're becoming WCW now.
Yeah, basically, they have even there's a
Turner money.
ITV in the UK, one of the biggest networks, is starting World of Sport.
Yes.
They're rebooting it. It hasn't even been picked up yet.
right, I did hear about that.
WWE is actually giving independent wrestlers that they're not going to sign contracts just so that those wrestlers won't go to ITV and wrestle for World of Sport.
Interesting.
Which the
it's-
tapings for that are going to be very late December, very
Yeah.
early January, and it actually had the reason WWE is doing that is potential to be a larger viewing audience
Yeah.
in the UK than WWE's
Well,
Raw.
yeah,
right
ITV is a network. And it's
Right.
one of like the 4 networks in England, and right now WWE programming all of this on Sky Sports, which is a premium subscription.
Yeah.
And they get about 150,000 pairs of eyeballs on them from week to week.
And we got in the chat, apparently, Joseph Boza says there's a press conference tomorrow, and it is rumored that there's going to be a UK-based wrestling show coming to the network, and Johnny Saint signed a 6-month deal to be a coach at the Performance Center.
That's true.
Well,
There's a WWE
Johnny Saint.
press conference because they announced on Flow Sports like today or yesterday that they're partnering. Flow Combat is partnering with an Ireland promotion that's joining Flow Slam.
Yes, I did hear about that.
There's so much
it just
wrestling.
says
There's
here-
all this going
Honestly,
on.
and I've got stuff on my end that I know that I can't talk about.
talk about
Wrestling
it.
just crazy right now.
You heard it here, folks.
That's great.
Hobo to WWE.
One of the
That's
things
not happening, all right?
One of the things that we talked about today on Xbox 12360. That's it for the news. So thank you very much for the music. One of the things that we talked about today was how wrestling is so good right now, and there's so much of it that even if you find something to complain about, you could probably find 3 other things to be super stoked about.
There's just so much stuff.
There's a lot. Fight TV, Flow Sports.
If you don't like something, you can find it somewhere else.
Yeah.
100%.
There is a lot of wrestling out there. We're here to talk about the NXT portion, and we did. Any final thoughts about tonight's show or anything that we want to leave with before signing off?
I'm going to be in NXT Bakersfield. Have no idea what the main event's going to
Riverside.
be. Riverside.
We
Sorry.
went to Bakersfield.
I went back in time in my head. It's another desert,
Yeah.
outpost in the middle of nowhere.
210.
And I have no idea what the main event's going to be for that. And then Las Vegas is on Saturday. Can't confirm or deny whether or not I'm going to be there, but I will be in Riverside. So, yeah. Enjoy
say hi.
updates from that.
If people want to hear your updates,
well, they can.
where can they find them?
They can find them on Twitter @TrueHobo.
Yeah?
And Instagram
Really?
@TrueHobo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, it's
getting
it's
all
a
over the
big,
place.
It's a big deal.
You on Vine?
Is anybody anymore?
Yeah,
Sure, Vine
it's still a
stars.
thing.
It is?
Yeah.
No,
It's
not
gonna
on
it's
Vine.
gonna not be a thing shortly, but
Vine can go blow. I don't care. I have never cared about Vine. Let it be known. I knew this was gonna happen. I saw it coming.
For more of these predictions, make sure to follow him @TrueHobo. Bill Hanstock.
oh, no one's got their finger on the pulse of emergent technology and social platforms like the True Hobo.
Hey, I know a good thing when I see it, and I know complete dog crap.
Well, you can find me at Uprocks, uprocks.com/sports, and withspandex.com. Check out, as I said earlier, our WCW recaps written by Brandon Stroud every Wednesday. Lots of content all week long that I write about, that Brandon writes about, and it's a lot of fun, and you should read it. And you can find me on Twitter at Sundown Motel. Mark?
Thank you, Bill. You can find me on Twitter at Mark Donica. We have a lot of wrestling programming here at the AfterBuzz TV network. Monday was part 2 of our interview with Trish Stratus from the Lillian Garcias making their way to the ring. Today on Xbox 12360, Jerry Briscoe. It was actually really interesting. I would recommend everybody to go back because we talk about Georgia Championship Wrestling leading up to the Stooge and how he liked the idea. Pat Patterson didn't. It's a very fun interview. Go listen to it. Xbox 12360. It's a little bit of an investment. Also, we have our shows for Raw. We have our shows for SmackDown. We have this show. This Sunday, we're going to have our Roadblock End of the Line pay-per-view wrap-up show, and we have something fun planned for it, so make sure to tune in there. Follow all of us here at AfterBuzz TV. Thank you so much for listening to this after show. We will see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.